So in this video, we're going to talk about the concept of reversing journal entries. And so what is a reversing journal entry and why would you need to make one? Well, in certain cases, you might make some kind of mistake, right? You might make an adjusting journal entry that was unnecessary or something, and you need to go ahead and correct that. And you can do that in the following period. So you go ahead and you're basically, you reverse or you undo a mistake. You undo this mistake at the beginning of the next period. Okay, so I'm just going to show you, it's really easy to reverse a journal entry, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's say that we've got this example here where on December 31st, 2016, you made an adjusting journal entry to reflect the supplies expense. So you thought you had supplies expense of 50, and then you reduced supplies by 50. So let's say you looked, you did a count of the supplies, and you thought, hey, we were missing $50 of supplies. I guess we used it up. I guess we had a supplies expense of 50, and you recorded this adjusting journal entry to reflect that. But then you find out the next day, you find out, you say, hey, wait a minute. I guess I found the supplies after all. Maybe this was a mistake. So this was a mistake, meaning that we shouldn't have made this entry. This was a mistake. So we need to undo it. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, it's really simple. We just flip the entry. Okay. So we just flip. What do you mean we flip? Well, so we debited supplies expense here for $50. Well, we just credit supplies expense for $50, right? We credited supplies here for 50. We debit it for 50. So let's just do this. So we debit the supplies. Oh, I don't need to write that. I think you can. So we debit supplies for 50, right? So we credited it. Now we're reversing it. This is where, it is what it sounds like, right? We reverse the entry. Instead of crediting supplies for 50, we debit supplies for 50. And then instead of debiting supplies expense for 50, we just undo that by crediting supplies expense for 50. So what does this do? So let's take the supplies account. All right. Let's just look at kind of the net effect. So we credited 50, right, originally, and now we're debiting it by 50, right? So what does it do? Well, it has a net effect of 0. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what we're saying is that nothing happened to the supplies account, which is basically we're undoing the mistake and saying, we actually didn't have that expense. So we just go ahead, we just reverse what happened, and it's as if it never took place.